Hey everybody, how you doing? Well, that sucked. Welcome to PHLY Flyers postgame presented by Bet365. My name is Bill Matz. Joining me live in the Xfinity studio, it is Philly's number one hockey beat writer, Charlie O'Connor. I am personally offended, Charlie, by the Philadelphia Flyers. Because I have been sitting here trying to be positive, telling people to get on the bandwagon. Last week's Philadelphia rant on the Gargano show was about how everyone needs to get aboard and this is a different team. Why do they do this to me, Charlie? Why can't they just be normal? Just don't play the best game you've played in years against the Ducks and then lose 4 in a row. Can you just not do that? Why? Why are they this way still? It's been so long that they've just been a disappointment and caused nothing but sadness. Why can't they just be good? They looked good for the first half of the season for the most part. Yeah. The second half comes and they're like, yeah, we're good. We're all set. Time to start playing golf.
Well,
I know. I'm being dramatic.
You're being a bit dramatic.
I'm being dramatic, and it's because I'm personally offended by this. Because I was the one sitting here trying to stick up for them, and you know what they did? They turtled. That's what it is. Like, they just turtled.
Whatever. I don't, like, these are the kind of games where it's like, I mean, I want to break it down.
I know.
But I'm not going to match your anger.
I know you're not.
So go be angry.
I don't expect you to. I'm angry because I've been sitting here trying to be like, it is different this year because it has felt different. And now it's, well, 0-3-1. We talked pregame. This was a big one.
Yeah,
and I agree. I don't think they played poorly tonight. They just did a bunch of dumb that pissed me off.
Yeah.
Took too many penalties. Flat passes in the neutral zone that a back checker picks off and takes the other way. Little things that could have made this game entirely different. And we'll get into the special teams in a minute because it's just
If anything, the special teams are even worse than you think they are.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you go back in the outline, you go back to mid-November. I'm going back to New Year's Eve.
I don't even. That's good. I'm glad we can do that. But yeah, so that's what I want to start with tonight. Quite honestly, is the special teams.
It's a good place to start. It's always good to talk about how bad the power play is because that is very
evergreen.
Clearly one of their biggest problems.
It's such an obvious.
It's not the biggest.
They do score a power play goal tonight.
They get a goal, yeah.
But it's another one in it takes a 3-goal game, makes it a 2-goal game in the third period, much like the Owen Tippett goal the other night. Or how important was that one? So this is the final note in my instant reactions that just got published over at allphly.com. The special teams are beyond horrific. Yes, they scored a power play goal tonight, but that makes them 10 for 80, 12.5% since November 14th. Meanwhile, the penalty kill, which at one point was fantastic, has struggled just as much. After giving up a pair of power play goals on Wednesday, Philly's PK is at 73.3%, placing them around 29th in the league in that time frame. They have a terrible, maybe since mid-November 30th or 31st, 32nd power play. Calgary's been real bad too. And the penalty kill, bottom 4. You just can't win with both being among the worst or actually the worst. You can't win with both sucking. Yeah. A few years ago, it was we know the power play's bad, but the penalty kill's scoring almost at an equal rate, so it kind of balances out. This is not balancing out.
No, and look, we know the power play's bad. Power play's been bad for years.
It's been bad for a long time.
You saw it at the end of the game.
We did a whole show on it last week.
It's 6-on-4, and they had the puck a lot. Did they do a lot with it? No, not really. But they did have the puck in the zone a lot. Power play's bad. To me, the bigger frustration point is the penalty kill. Because I know the power play's bad. I don't know if they're capable of having a good power play.
Yeah.
Now, I think they have the personnel to be better. I don't know if this coaching staff, this mix, whatever, can be better on the power play. The penalty kill, I've seen the penalty kill be good. I've seen the penalty kill be good with most of these same players over the last couple of years. Since New Year's Eve, so going back to that Calgary game that we had to sit through up until the time the ball dropped, they've killed 13 out of 22 power plays. That is a 59.1% success rate on the penalty kill.
Oh my God. And like, you're going back to that Calgary game for a specific reason, Charlie. Need I remind you, I just said the one power play that's been around as bad as the Flyers is Calgary's. Like, those should count for 2.
Yeah. So they're sub 60% on the penalty kill for the last 2 weeks plus. That is one very big way you start losing games. Because look, I don't think this team is a horrendous offensive team, but they're not a good offensive team. They're certainly not top half of the league, top 10. They're not going to score a ton of goals. They need to win by keeping scores relatively low. Now we'll get into Dan Vladar in a few minutes because that really is we'll get into the ins and outs of this game, what they did wrong, because they did a lot wrong. The big concern coming out of this game is Dan Vladar, and if he's out for a while, they're in big trouble in terms of like winning games the rest of the year. But we'll get to Vladar in a second. Going back to my point, they had Vladar making saves and keeping this team in games and keeping the goals relatively low. If they're only killing 3 out of every 5 power plays, they're not going to keep scores low, and they don't have the offense to outscore that. And that's why there's a lot of reasons. That's a big reason why they've lost 4 straight. They can't stop the other team's power plays anymore, whereas 2 months ago they were real good at it.
Not to mention, like a game like tonight, for instance, Charlie, it's been a real struggle for them to stay out of the box. And
discipline's a real problem.
Like they have been shorthanded. They were actually down to 17th 134 times. Discipline was a real big problem early in the season.
It was.
And it was like, well, they're killing the penalties though, so it's okay. If that's going to rear its head again, they give up 6 power plays tonight. Like, I don't know how you can keep even if you're not surrendering goals, which they are at like an alarming rate, that just doesn't give you enough time to attack. Like you said, they're not exactly an offensive juggernaut.
No,
now, since mid-November, they've been pretty good offensively.
At 5-on-5.
At 5-on-5.
Power play's
but
still
like,
terrible.
That's volume. You need volume.
Yeah.
You need possession in the offensive zone in order to score like 3.12 goals a game or whatever had them at like 8th or 14th or whatever it was in the league. If they're not going to have that because they're constantly killing penalties, like take a goal a game away, as we have. It's now, 4 games in a row, they have scored under 2 or fewer goals. Like, you can't handicap yourself that way. Especially when you get the power plays, no way you're scoring.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I'll go in because I was kind of holding off on this because I thought you wanted to talk about Vladar.
We will, yeah.
I'll just go into the game.
Go ahead.
I'll go into all the things that they did wrong in this game. Because I said before the game, I felt like this was the most important game of the year so far. And that's why it's so disappointing.
That's why I'm upset.
That they played so poorly because you're like, guys, this was huge. It's a 3-game losing streak. You're playing against a team that's even with you in terms of points percentage in the standings. These are the teams, the Bufalos, the Pittsburghs, the Rangers. These are the teams they're going to have to beat if they want any chance to make the playoffs. And they went out there and in many ways were a mess. Now, if you look at the numbers are not that bad in terms of they outshot them. According to National Stat Trick, they outchanced them. They finished with 12 high danger chances. They allowed 11. They finished with 30 normal scoring chances. They allowed 22. They finished with 53 shot attempts. They allowed 39. So, yeah, the numbers ain't bad. But here's all the things they were bad at. Because there were a lot of things that led to the fact that they lost this game. Like, they didn't lose this game because they got unlucky. They lost this game because they played a sloppy as hell game on so many levels. Number one, it's not just the turnovers. It's not just that they're turning pucks over. It's the guys who are turning pucks over. You have Trevor Zegras has a turnover leading to the Samuelsson goal. You have a Travis Konechny penalty that leads to the Dahlin power play goal. Sean Couturier was terrible in the first period.
Yeah,
he was turning pucks over constantly. I mean, I think the reason why he didn't turn many pucks over the rest of the game is because they just didn't give him that many minutes because I think Tocchet realized this dude ain't got it tonight. Like, this is your captain. This is your top scorer, and this is the guy who's been your top scorer for the last 4 years.
Yeah.
These are the guys that everybody's looking to, and they're the ones that are making the mistakes that are leading to goals against. So that's number one. Number two, the penalty kill, dumpster fire. They allowed 2, and the third basically was because they hadn't actually gotten the puck out of the zone when they scored a goal at even strength. That's basically a power play goal. So the penalty kill, dumpster fire. Number 3, this is clear that they're frustrated. This is a frustrated team that's taking dumb penalties. Have Hathaway take a dumb misconduct penalty coming out of the box. They have a power play at the end of the second. Are they going to win the game? Nah, probably not. But they do have a power play. They can at least have that coming out of the second intermission. Like, well, we score here, maybe we can do something. Instead, Garnet Hathaway takes a penalty that, he kind of gets baited into by Zach Benson. But like, again, don't get baited into it. You're a veteran. He's like 20.
You're the guy who baits people.
Yeah.
You should know the tactics and what to avoid.
Yeah, he's like 20. So frustration seeping in, and I think that's leading to a lot of the, let's say, coverage breakdowns, because guys are running themselves out of position. Because I don't think it's that they don't care. Like, they clearly care. Every single shift from the midpoint of the game on was ending with a scrum.
This wasn't an effort problem tonight.
They care.
It was a stupid problem.
If anything, they were caring too much.
Yeah.
They were pulling themselves out of position. They were, rushing to try to cover for other people's mistakes and then pulling themselves out of position. So you got frustration. They're clearly a frustrated team. They are not a calm team that is reacting to this 4-game losing streak well. Then you got misguided energy, because that plays into the frustration. Because they're using all their energy on dumb things, they don't have enough energy to do the things you actually have to do to win. Like that first power play they had in the first period. They lose 3 battles along the boards that directly lead to clears. Look, yes, to score on the power play, you need to make plays. You need to put pucks on net. You need to have creativity. But before you can even get to that, you know what you need? The puck.
Possession.
You need the puck. And if you're not winning battles along the boards, like somebody on one of the social media channels said to me, like, well, is that skill or is that coaching? I'm like, neither. It's effort. Like, you need to win the battles, and that's not like you don't have talented enough players. That's you're not working hard enough in the areas you need to work hard in. Another thing, the forecheck, okay? Completely lacked bite.
None.
I track this in game. I tracked the entire game during this one. They retrieved 8 of 30 dump-ins. That's a 26.7% retrieval rate. Their average on the season is like 43. Like, this is significantly below their average. And again, like, I'm not saying the effort's not there, because again, they're battling, they're fighting, they're doing stuff, but like maybe a little bit less effort on that and a little bit more effort on like actually winning the puck battles that allow you to beat a team that you could have beat. Those are my 5 or 4 points of why. Turnovers from key players, penalty kills the dumpster fire, frustration, and then you have, because of the frustration, you have misguided energy. That's why you lose this game. A game where you outshot them, you outchanced them, you had the puck a lot, you had opportunities, but you blew it because of dumb stuff.
And I'll tell you, like, the battles on the power play thing drives me nuts, because it's a simple math equation. Like, yes, I guess you don't want 4 or 5 guys all over on the same side of the ice. But if it's 2-on-2 and the puck is stuck down low, make it 3-on-2. Because guess what?
You got one more guy.
It's still man on man.
You got one more guy.
It's still 2v2. If the puck comes out and they get possession of it, it's still a 2-on-2. Everything will be okay, hopefully. Like, because it's not like you're going to be outnumbered the other way. Just little stuff like that it can lead to losses, even when, like, you kind of, like, the actual hockey, the stuff that went on the ice for the majority of the 60 minutes wasn't horrible. It was just like little decisions and small battles and discipline. Just, it killed them tonight.
They allowed 14 shots on goal.
And the 14th was an empty netter.
Yeah, like it truly wasn't all bad, but it feels like it was all bad because they did so much dumb crap.
I will, on the other side, we will talk about something that is actually bad, and it is a potential Dan Vladar injury. We don't have any updates, but we will scour during the break for them, and we will discuss what it could mean. But we need to take our first break. All right, everybody, listen up. I got to tell you how I start my day each and every morning. I start at my Wawa. Now, this might be an ad read, but I think everyone watching right now has to know how much I love Wawa. And now, Wawa's giving us yet another reason to love them. It's the $5 Big Breakfast Deal. For just $5, you can get any Sizzly breakfast sandwich, any size hot or iced coffee, plus a hash brown every morning from 5 a.m. to 11 a.m. That's right, a breakfast Sizzly, a coffee, and a hash brown for just $5 from your local Wawa. That's value, that's convenience, and that's deliciousness all together in one deal. And while you're picking up your coffee, check out the brand new Caramel Chocolate Craze coffee flavors. You can try caramel, you can try chocolate, or you can mix both together for a sweet treat that will start your morning off right. The $5 Big Breakfast deals for a limited time and exclusions apply. See Wawa.com for details. No need to overthink breakfast. Just grab, go, and get on your day with Wawa. Gotta have a Wawa. It's time to tell you about Xfinity, because I gotta ask, what if you could have reliable and intelligent Wi-Fi? And what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? Well, that's the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Imagine Wi-Fi that makes everything in your home work together, that finds and fixes problems before you even notice them, like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense, and that lets you stream the game even when the whole family's online. All your devices working in perfect harmony for 5 whole years. And here's the best part. There's no annual contract, no hidden fees, and Xfinity's best equipment is always included. Take it from me, a lot can change in 5 years. Championships are won, records are broken. We hate contracts. Well, dreams grow bigger, but your Wi-Fi, it should stay reliable, and the price should stay put. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities with Xfinity. Learn more at Xfinity.com. Xfinity, imagine that. Select plans only. Restrictions apply. Go Birds. So perhaps that Go Birds kills me. So I guess you can lose a game in an 82-game season, even if it's a disappointing one like tonight, and it's not the end of the world. 4-game losing streak. Listen, 0-3-1 is their worst streak of the season. If they turn this around, it's like we forget about it in another week.
I don't think this has to be the end of the world.
No.
But it could be if...
if Dan Vladar...
Yeah.
And hopefully, this is acting out of an abundance of caution, as we like to say, Charlie, because he gets pulled after 20 minutes, and we're like, well, maybe they're just trying to shake things up, wake up the team. They only gave up 5 shots. They give up the 2 goals in the first period, but like maybe this is more a message to everybody else, because I think Vladar's earned a little bit more of a leash than 20 minutes. Like I don't know if either of those goals were really on him. Mm-hmm. Then we get the tweet from the Flyers a few minutes after we see Ersson had started the period. It says, injury update, Flyers goaltender Dan Vladar will not return to tonight's game due to injury. He will be reevaluated after the game. If this is, I don't even like medium term, not even like, oh, he's out the rest of the season. Like if he's out a couple of weeks, this could be legitimately devastating to the team.
Yeah, well, especially given how close everything is.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone in the East is so tight in the standings. We looked at it in pregame, how close everybody is. It wouldn't be devastating if Ersson, even if Ersson was playing like, let's say, November Ersson, I would be like, yeah, maybe they can do it. This Ersson, the one we've seen the last 2-3 weeks, where his save percent his full season is bad, but the last few weeks it's been like 840. You can't win with that. I mean, really, what you'd have to do is you have to call up Kolosov and kind of just cross your fingers and hope that the kid's ready, because like Ersson desperately needs time to figure out what's wrong with him. And again, like he hasn't been particularly good all year, but this is a new low. And if you're asking a guy who's reached a new low to suddenly take on the full brunt of the load against teams like Vegas and Colorado, like he might give up 10.
Colorado might score 20. Like I'm not even kidding. Like I don't think 11's out of the possibility. Yeah. The other issue, like we've talked about the condensed schedule. They play again tomorrow. Ersson played a majority of this game. He ended up with 37-27 of ice time. They play again tomorrow, and not a ton of rest baked in here. In the past, when leaned on, Sam Ersson has gotten banged up.
Yeah, he wilts or he gets injured.
Yeah. What the hell do they do if and when that happens, Charlie? Like, is it really Kolosov, Bjarnason for and like this is all hypothetical. We have no idea what is the matter with Vladar at this moment, but we talked the other night. Doesn't seem like anyone in press row had seen it, so maybe it wasn't as big of a deal as it was made on the broadcast, that he seemed to be shaking his leg. But the same thing sort of happens tonight, where he's slow to get up. He had to pull himself up on the post, I believe. Yeah. That's not a great sign. Like I'm not looking at this like, oh, he'll be in there tomorrow. I'm gonna be really surprised if that happens.
Yeah, I can't.
If we're leaning on Ersson, we know how that's going to go.
Yeah, we've seen it.
And then suddenly it's 2 AHL goalies. Like, this could go so bad so quickly. This is the thing that's giving me like the legitimate, ooh, this isn't good.
Well, then the question is, do you just roll with it? Do you just say, well, I guess like suddenly if they go on a 10-game losing streak because Vladar can't play and Ersson can't stop a puck, like he's like, okay, well, I guess now we're pivoting to tanking? Or do you try to make a trade or try to make a waiver claim or something just to get somebody in there who maybe can stop a puck?
I just like,
Because I don't think they're going to rush Bjarnason up. Kolosov, yeah, like they'll call him up. He's gotten time this year. He played in the NHL last year, not well, but he played in the NHL last year. He's a little on the older side. I don't think like maybe they would bring Bjarnason up, but I think they are very intent upon giving him the year in the AHL to develop. They're not going to be like, well, let's put this on this 20-year-old who has a good save percentage in the AHL, but is still very raw. I think it would be, let's go Ersson, Kolosov, and maybe if Kolosov shows something, we move more towards Kolosov than Ersson. Would they consider making a trade? I don't know. I guess that's when you find out just how intent they are upon taking a step this year. Because if they like do an MRI and Vladar has to miss 2 months,
sell.
Well, either you sell or you trade for a goalie.
Sell. Just looking at Charlie, I looked at the trade boards the last couple of days on Daily Faceoff and The Athletic. Jordan Bennington, does he interest you? He's available.
Well, no, but that's not.
I'm just like,
he doesn't interest me because he doesn't make sense.
No,
like would Alex Lyon interest me? Sure,
absolutely. I just don't know how available. Like, you know who's going to want Alex Lyon? Most of the league, because I looked at this today. Like, of goalies who've made like 10 starts, there's 64. Like, at least 30 of them have a sub 900 save percentage. Like, it's the whole league needs another goalie. I don't know if like the juice is worth the squeeze, even if you do pursue. Like, what are you gonna get for? Like, is Alex Lyon gonna cost you like a premium asset? I don't know if I'm that interested in it.
Or you just trade for somebody who, like, you named a lot of when we talked about this a couple of days. You named a lot of underwhelming names.
Cam Talbot,
an underwhelming name. I don't know if Cam Talbot would even like want to come here, given the way things went the last time he was here. My point is that there are goalies available. Like, there are going to be goalies available that are going to be better than an ECHL goalie that you could toss it. There are plenty of teams that have veteran number threes that are in the AHL if they don't want Bjarnason to play games. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They could do that.
They absolutely could. I just think, like, this is the hockey gods giving you the excuse to try to get a top 10 pick if Vladar is going to be out for any amount of time.
Yeah, maybe.
I just don't see giving up assets for like a James Reimer type being all that smart. All right. Well, it is Wawa Wednesday. Happy Wawa Wednesday to all, and we are celebrating with the big deal presented by Wawa. Right now, you can get the big breakfast deal at Wawa, any sizzly, any hot or iced coffee, and a hash brown for $5 every day, 5 a.m. to 11 a.m. The big deal tonight, a lot of people talking about head coach Rick Tocchet. I don't know if this is the specific game that I'm putting on Tock, but I will, after laying out a couple of things that I just have an overall issue with, ask you a question about his... maybe not X's and O's, but just overall philosophy. This team right now struggling to score. Michkov on the left wing. We've seen the numbers. He scores from the right side. He doesn't score from the left side. It's more difficult. He hasn't scored in over a month. Maybe think about trying him back over there where he does score goals. The power play units. And this isn't just a Michkov thing, but like... you have to have him and Zegras out there together. I don't care if it hasn't worked to this point. You have to force it and hope it does. I know, okay, well, we have Tippett on that left wing wall because he's right-handed, and, well, he might be able to get a one-timer from Zegras, who's left-handed on the right side. It's been 137 games in which Owen Tippett has scored 2 power play goals. Why? Why is he out there on the top power play unit? Makes zero sense other than just being right-handed. Is Rick Tocchet right-handed? Put him out there. Like, there's no production coming from that spot. You need to figure out a way, and not even specifically Tippett, but he's the one I look at first. You need to figure out that and put them together because the power play couldn't be worse. Something we noticed tonight, first period. All right, they're down, but they're getting some pressure. Best sustained pressure the first period. Out there forechecking, got some time in the offensive zone, couple chances. Here comes the fourth line. Now, I get, like, you got to get them out there sometime. You want to shelter them. It's not like you put them out there for big D-zone face-offs or anything. So if not now, when? But, like, maybe not in that specific spot when you just need a freaking goal.
Yeah, like, I really didn't need to see Rodrigo Abels fly
Be
in.
the one who's coming off the bench as we're switching, like, during the best forecheck of the first period.
Yeah.
It was already 2-0. They didn't allow a shot for the first 9 minutes of this game. Buffalo was at like 11 shots 44 minutes into the game. They had 13 shots against goalies tonight. Like, that's a really, really good defensive effort.
Yeah.
If they backed off of the defensive, like, focus a little bit, say they give up 17 shots tonight, but push for a little more offense, couldn't they score a little more?
So it's a tough question because I do think there absolutely is truth to the fact that Rick Tocchet does lean conservative. And perfect example being that fourth line shift when you have, you know, guys in on the forecheck, and then you send Rodrigo Abels in, and Rodrigo Abels does what Rodrigo Abels does, which is not much with the puck because he's a fourth line center, and that's not, generally speaking, how you want to keep a forecheck going, is you throw your fourth line out there to try to do like a full change to keep the pressure on. So that there's truth to that. But I don't know, man. Like, I watched this game. They created enough chances. They had plenty of chances. They could have scored a lot of goals. They just didn't. So I just don't know if this game is an example of, like, they sacrifice offense for defense. I mean, Gerbenkin nearly scores. UPL makes an amazing save. They rang it off the post a couple times. Zegras had a bunch of chances. Like, they outchanced the Sabres. And this isn't just like me saying, like, well, in my opinion, like, no. Look it up on Natural Stat Trick. They outchanced the Sabres. Like, I think they created enough chances to score 4 or 5 goals in this game. They didn't. But I don't think the answer is open it up. Like, they did a good job at preventing shots. But when they allowed shots, they had massive breakdowns.
Yeah.
In my mind, it's like, clean up the breakdowns and also, and again, clean up the friggin' penalty kill.
Yes. No,
that to me is the bigger problem.
They had 13 shots tonight, and every single one was a scoring chance. I swear to God.
Yeah, they were almost all quality.
Every single one was a quality shot.
I mean, there were a couple plays where, like, that weren't even shots. There was that one that they missed the wide open net. The dude, like redirects it right into the post.
Yeah, Bo Byram somehow, from like the middle to right side, like hits the left post on that redirect, and it was like, I don't know physics work that way, quite honestly. But yeah, there were a lot of just like major breakdowns and stuff, and I feel like we've seen that. Like, yeah, overall shot total real low, but man, when the other team gets loose, it's a fire drill out there.
This was a little, honestly, this game was reminiscent of the Flyers last year under Torts, because this happened a lot last year where they would have games where you're like, man, they have the puck more than the other team, and they outshot the other team, and they kept them to a low shot total. And then every single time they gave up a shot, it was this awful glaring breakdown, like giving up odd man rushes, leaving guys open in the low slot. Like, how many times were they letting Rasmus Dahlin just like carry the puck into the low side? I don't know. Have someone up there, put a little puck pressure on the guy.
There's so much focus on the offensive side. Like, we got to get to the at least Tocchet says it. They haven't been doing it a ton lately, but like, we got to get to the middle of the ice. We got to get to those hard areas. We got to get to where goals are scored. And then the defense tonight, like, I don't know, maybe don't vacate the high slot. Like, maybe that's the area we should be defending right now, where like their best player is just walking in downhill, getting ready in shooting position. And it's like, there's no one. We're not going to get a stick in the lane. Nothing. We're just, clear shot.
It's funny. Like, I see people in the chat that are like, well, I didn't watch the same game as Charlie. Like, this isn't me watching. I'm literally referencing actual stats. Go on the friggin' website.
It's
like, I don't know what to tell you guys.
I just think the breakdowns were so big, but I do think maybe tonight, like, not the perfect example. I do think they could open it up a little more. That said, until this 4-game losing streak, the offense was going well for about a month and a half.
Yeah, it was.
Like, that was happening.
At 5-on-5.
At 5-on-5.
Not
just the overall scoring, but all of the scoring happens at even strength because they never score in the power play. 10 for 80 since mid-November. Like, bad. Like, they had been scoring a decent amount, over 3 goals a game. Now, do you think this current scoring slump is kind of just, yeah, man, they were never like at one point, I think after the Ducks game, they were like 8th from mid-November to January 6th in overall goals per game. They were never that, and this is just like shooting percentage regression right now. Do you think there's some of that going on?
Maybe to a degree. Yeah, certainly could be. I mean, they were probably a little, but the thing is, regression happens every way.
Yeah,
like,
sure.
They were probably getting a little unlucky to start the year. Then they get a little lucky. Now they're getting a little unlucky. Like, this team is what they are. Okay, they're about a 50% expected goal team. They're middle of the road. That's why we're talking about them maybe making the playoffs or maybe not. Because when you're a middle of the road team, guess what? Half the teams in the league make the playoffs. So if you're a middle of the road team, you might make the playoffs, you might not. That's what they are.
And the thing was, they had a goalie who was like winning them games every first period. And now that guy might be gone. So we'll see how this goes. On the other side, we still have to get the 3 stars. We still have to get to the game changer, unsung hero, and your super chats. But we got to take our second break. Whether your favorite team wins or not, there's always another way to win in the BetParx online casino app. You got to check out brand new games like Huff and More Puff and Fireblaze Sky Queen, a BetParx exclusive. You can play blackjack, you can play roulette, craps, poker, baccarat, and hot online slots like Cash Eruption and 88 Fortune. Play all your favorite classic casino games from wherever you are. And new users right now get up to $1,000 casino bonus back if you're down in the first 24 hours. You can even play hot online slots based on your favorite streaming shows like The Walking Dead and Breaking Bad, all your favorite classic casino games from wherever you are. It's the only app I ever use to play all my favorite casino games right in the palm of my hand. Go to betparx.com and download the app right now and enjoy all the action and excitement from the casino at your fingertips. Must be 21 and in PA, New Jersey, Maryland, or Michigan for BetParx. You love to play, you play to win, you bet. BetParx. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. If you're in the market for a Chevy, you got to check out Elkin Chevrolet, because Elkin Chevrolet is run by 3 brothers, real brothers, who are local guys, and yup, they're big Flyers fans, so you know they're loyal. And if you've been watching this season, you know what kind of hockey it's been. Nothing's easy, working hard for every inch of the ice. That's how these guys run their business, too, with hard work. And right now, Elkin Chevrolet has a big inventory of new Chevy trucks and SUVs, the stuff people around here actually want to drive, and they're priced to move. No games, no runaround. You come in, you get a straight answer, and a great price. Whether you're heading to the game, heading to work, or just trying to get home after a long day, they'll get you into the right ride at the right price. And this isn't a one-and-done place. These are the guys you go back to because they treat you right. Elkin Chevrolet, real brothers, real deals, and a whole lot of honkin' good service. Located on Route 73 South in Marlton, New Jersey, Elkin Chevrolet. Together, let's drive and let's go Flyers. All right, it is time for the Elkin Chevrolet Game Changer. That's right, it's the Game Changer driven by Elkin Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. And I've been doing a lot of like sarcastic ones. You know, like, oh, the power play was the game changer tonight. It changed it for the worse.
Yeah, it was bad.
I do want to credit Owen Tippett. I actually want to have a good game changer tonight. So we're going to give it to Owen Tippett.
He was good.
Second period goal is 15th of the season. Also had an assist, 4 shots. I thought he was their best player, and there wasn't like a close second tonight, quite honestly.
I think that's fair. I didn't realize he got an assist on the power play call.
Yeah, so he has been effective lately. I would say over the last couple of weeks, outside of the Ducks game, because there was one main character that night, and his name was Trevor Zegras, he's been their best player for like 2 weeks. This is, I think, one of the better sustained, and it's not like he's scoring 2 goals every, 2 games or whatever. Like,
but he's noticeable every game.
He's noticeable. He's
making
starting
an impact. Yes.
He's starting to impact games consistently, and it's not, well, he didn't score, so I didn't know he even freaking played tonight. It doesn't look like that. And that is kind of exciting about Owen, because we've been waiting to see how he puts this all together. Maybe he just never becomes 30, 35 goal guy, but he adds other elements to his game. We've seen some improved playmaking. We've seen him be more physical. I think he's second on the team in hits. He's just doing more stuff. And they said it during the broadcast, like, he's got the tools. We've been saying that for a few years now. Yeah. It does kind of feel like he's starting to become a more of an every night contributor.
Yeah, I thought in this game, he was the one guy from start to finish who was going. I was happy for him. He got the goal because it was like, okay, well, at least there's some justice in the world. He gets rewarded. He's the only guy who gets rewarded. Then, Zegras scores, which that seemed unfair because I thought both Konechny and Zegras kind of had messes of games.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay, well, I guess we got Bill both his bets tonight.
Yeah, we did.
So Bill at least made some money tonight,
Yeah,
I guess.
it was nice.
So there's that. Thank you, Trevor Zegras, for helping out Bill not look totally stupid as a gambler.
It's important. It's important that the guys I bet on do what they're supposed to do.
Exactly. But no, I thought Tippett was maybe the only Flyer who was consistently good in this game. He was carrying the puck. He was making plays. He was shooting. He was putting the puck on net in a way that a lot of guys weren't. And he has a nice shot that scores a goal. Like that's a distant shot. I don't know if I call it a snipe. It may have ticked off of one of the Buffalo players' sticks, so it wasn't like completely clean look where he just beats the goalie on his own. But it's a good shot. It's ticketed for the top corner.
And I want to see more of that from him, where he just kind of, if he has that sort of velocity, and we know like his clean looks, he can miss the net just as much. Like if you put that thing through traffic, goalies are going to have a hard time tracking it.
Yeah.
Like that's just the way, like you put enough on it, through enough bodies, you're going to score a few extra goals. Hopefully we see more of that. But he is tonight's game changer, driven by Elkins Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. Let's take a look at the standings now, the updated standings after this loss to Buffalo. Buffalo gets itself into a wild card spot, while the Flyers are now in a direct tie with tomorrow's opponent.
Well, that went real well tonight, going into a game with a direct tie against their opponent.
Same exact record in the same number of games played, same points percentage. Come out tomorrow, beat up the Penguins, all is well. I am willing to wipe the slate clean from these last few games and say, listen, they were going to have a bad week. They were always going to have a bad week. If 0-3-1 is the low point of the season against teams, again, it's Toronto on a point streak. It's Tampa twice on a 10-game winning streak. And it's Buffalo, who, I know LOL Buffalo, but this was win 13 out of 16 or 13 out of 15, something like they've been on fire. 14 out of 16.
Because they were 13 out of 15 going.
Yeah, I was really trying to do that quick math and it wasn't working. But they have won most of their games recently. That's what three pretty hot teams. And then you come out, go beat Pittsburgh. They just lost Erik Karlsson. Go beat them tomorrow, beat them handily, and all is well. I will wipe the slate clean and say, fine, you're good. All is forgiven.
But they're going to have to do that against a rested team.
Yeah.
With Sam Ersson almost certainly as your starting goalie.
Most likely. I'm looking at Jackie's timeline right now. I don't see anything about Vladar.
I think Jackie said that there was no update from Tocchet on Vladar after the game.
All right. I mean, he wouldn't. It would be surprising. He left from injury. He's going to play the next night.
It would be very surprising.
Even if he's okay, you don't put him back out
I would
there.
imagine they will call up Kolosov, you would think, to back up. At the very least, you want to be. I mean, because look, even if Vladar's only out for a week, he's extremely important.
Yes.
You do not want him. You do not want to rush him back and then have him be out for 3 months.
He and Trevor Zegras are the reason they are where they are in the standings this year.
Two biggest reasons, to be sure.
I would put them 1A and 1B. Like Zegras scoring near a point a game pace. He just fell under it this week. And Vladar, especially like in first periods where they get killed and then somehow find a way to come back. Like he has won them a majority of their games this season just by being solid the way he has. If he's out for any length of time, it really changes what this season might be. All right, let's get to the unsung hero presented by Togo. Togo, the leader in operations outsourcing. Let Togo handle the work that gets in the way of your work. You call the plays, we execute. Togo. This one, I'm sorry to Togo, but I had to make one joke with one of my segments tonight.
Okay.
And it's going to be, is Bobby Brink the MVP? All was well while Bobby Brink was healthy. Now they are 0-3-1 without him. The first night, he gets hurt on his first shift. They rally around it. Cates gets in the fight, inspires everybody.
Sure.
And since then, nothing. Averaging under 2 goals a game, losing every night. They stink without him. Is Bobby Brink the straw that stirs the drink?
I don't think so, William.
All right.
You know what? Believe what you want, my friend.
I do.
Wait, one good thing about the fact that they lost this game in this particular way, I mean, you would imagine Denver Barkey's getting back in tomorrow.
And that's, what?
You're not going to have we can't change the lineup. We had a great game.
We can't change the lineup now. You're like, Alex Bump, how you doing? You feeling healthy? No, I do think like Brink's absence does, and with Denver Barkey out of the lineup, not great over the past couple of games, but he'd been decent leading up to that. I do think Brink's injury speaks to like this team when they're healthy. Good deep team in terms of the top 9. Like, oh, you know what? No first line, but 3 decent lines. Yeah. You take Bobby Brink out, and suddenly it's like, yeah, we got Carl Grundstrom in the top 9. And listen, that goal streak was a lot of fun, but there's a reason they gave him to us for Ryan Ellis, you know? Sure. Once those things start to happen, like, oh yeah, our captain and our sophomore future of the franchise are playing with Carl Grundstrom. Like suddenly, oh yeah, and D'Lo is in the lineup, and Hathaway, and like the fourth line suddenly gets a little worse. Like you have to move some things around because of this. Gurbenkin gets bumped up. I do think losing one guy like Brink shows when healthy, good deep lineup. Lose a guy, there's nothing behind it.
Well, and it's also because they lost Tyson Forrester for the entire year.
And that as well,
so
yes.
That's
the reality we're living in.
I know that's the reality, but I'm just saying, like, you've already lost one guy for the rest of the year, and then you lose another, then suddenly the cracks start to show even more. Barkey, his play has dipped a little bit, so you pull him out of the lineup. Alex Bump's hurt, so you can't call him up. Yeah. It puts you in a little bit of a tough spot. Porter Martone isn't available because he's in college. Like, you have pieces.
Like,
you have pieces. It's just that guys are either in the developmental process, or they're injured, or they're not available because of, rules, I guess is the best way to put it.
You know how many times I skipped school to go work at Pizza Hut? Come on. This is to play in the NHL. Just drop out, Porter. Who cares? It's college. You don't need a degree. What are you going to college for? Do whatever you got to do. We'll see you in the spring, kid. All right, Charlie. Let's get to tonight's 3 stars. I want to hit those and then touch on some other things on the other side. So, without further ado, it's time for Charlie O'Connor's 3 stars of the game. Ooh, all right. Good luck. Who is star number 3?
Yeah, I mean, this isn't going to take long.
No.
Star number 3, I'm giving it to Noah Cates. He had an assist on the Tippett goal, and his line. You look at the numbers, they were not on the ice for a single goal against. They were on the ice for 1 goal for, and they had a 97.16% expected goals for percentage of 5-on-5. Sure. Noah Cates, 3rd star. Why not?
Who is tonight's 2nd star?
2nd star is the other guy on that line, Nikita Gurbenkin. Nearly scores early on. I did legitimately like his move at the end of the 2nd period where he baits Zach Benson into a penalty.
Yeah.
And then Benson cross-checks him up high, and instead of losing his temper, which he easily could have done, he just looks over at the official and is like, hey, call that penalty. That was a smart play. And he was a key cog on maybe their only line tonight that was any good. Nikita Gurbenkin, 2nd star.
Only 2 players were a plus tonight. Cates and Gurbenkin were those 2 players.
There you go.
Who was tonight's 1st star?
Owen Tippett, the only guy who I thought played a start to finish solid game.
The Flyers scored 2 goals. He had 2 points.
Yep.
I'll take it.
I know Zegras scored, and I know Konechny had a nice pass. I didn't like either of their games aside from that one play.
All right, before we go to break, can we talk about that 2-on-0? You just mentioned those 2 guys.
Like
whatever the opposite of stars are, I want to give it to those 2
that was rough.
So it's like they have a chance at a 2-on-0. Zegras is in the neutral zone a little ahead of TK. I think Zegras is expecting TK to just kind of skate, and he will go off to the side, and we'll just set this up, and maybe we can ping pong and see if we can confuse the goalie. TK decides, now I'm just headmanning it to you. You freaking go in on a breakaway. He doesn't realize that's happening until the pass is on his way, has to stop his forward momentum. Now there's pressure.
Yeah.
TK then doesn't like spread out or find open ice. He just kind of follows.
Yeah, that was really bad.
And he tries to drop it. Zegras tries to drop it to him. And it just becomes what could have been a fun 2-on-0 becomes like the most embarrassing moment of the season. It was just, again, it was an S show. Like, these things happen in the course of a season. 2 guys just not on the same page from the moment the puck got loose. But, man, it's 2-0. That would have been nice.
No, I think the play there was Konechny never should have passed the puck originally.
Yes.
Yes, it's a 2-on-0 technically, but really what should have happened is Zegras should have essentially been allowed to basically set a pick. Just kind of wedge the guy who was back checking off to give Konechny more room to take a shot. Konechny, by making that headman pass, messes up the play, and then Zegras should have just been like, all right, well, I know I got back pressure, but I better just try to treat this like a breakaway. He doesn't do that either, but I think it's more on Konechny, but it's on both of them. They both played it poorly. It was just
everything they did was the opposite, like
of what they should have done.
Every step of the way they messed, like, okay, this happened, and then you reacted wrong, and then you reacted. Like, it was just... It was ugly. It was an ugly freaking game. And that's what we're like, the little stuff that just went wrong in this game killed them when it was like, I don't even think they were that bad. It was just they did a bunch of dumb stuff.
I mean,
that.
They were bad because if you do a bunch of dumb stuff, then you played bad.
Yes.
There were parts of their game, there were fundamental parts of their game that weren't bad. But when you do so many bad things within those fundamentals, then it becomes bad.
Every time there was like a crossroads, make a play or screw up. It's like, oh yeah,
yeah. They were taking that road less traveled.
Very much the like, oh, this is the road's out. Yup, we do. In fact, we're doing it anyway. All right, we have to take our final break, and then it's time for your super chats. I hear there's a lot of them.
Yeah.
Happy New Year, everybody. If you're like me, you probably want to be a little bit healthier in 2026, but that means meal prep, that means cooking, that means grocery shopping. Who has the time? Well, Factor takes care of all of that for you because Factor makes it easy with fully prepared meals designed by dietitians and crafted by chefs so you can eat well without the shopping or cooking. And what goes inside is nothing but great stuff. Quality functional ingredients, including lean protein, colorful veggies, whole food ingredients, and healthy fats. There's no refined sugars, no artificial sweeteners, and no refined seed oils. What you see is what you get, and it's all great. I use this, and you should too. Head to factormeals.com/PHLY50 off and use code PHLY50 off to get 50% off your first Factor box, plus free breakfast for 1 year. Offer only valid for new Factor customers with code and qualifying auto-renewing subscription purchase. Make healthier eating easy with Factor. So we just had a conversation right here in the PHLY office about how those of us in our mid-30s are beginning to feel our age. I'm 37, and suddenly the diet I've maintained and the little bit of cardio I do are harder than ever. You start thinking, what's wrong with me? I'm not that old. How has my lifestyle turned on me? But the science behind it actually makes sense. Most men start losing testosterone at around age 30, and even if your body is making testosterone, there's this protein called SHBG that basically handcuffs your testosterone. Mars Men is designed to help free locked up testosterone so your body can actually use it. And they don't have any synthetics, there's no needles, just 8 natural, clinically dosed ingredients. And Mars Men has a 90-day money-back guarantee, so there is no risk. For a limited time, our listeners get 50% off for life, plus free shipping and 3 free gifts from mengotomars.com. It's a perfect way to kick off your new year strong. That's mengotomars.com for 50% off and 3 free gifts at checkout. After your purchase, they will ask you where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them we sent you. All right, before we get to your super chats, we do just want to put a bow on the Dan Vladar situation for the night. Rick Tocchet, we just saw on Twitter, no update, according to Inquirer beat writer Jackie Spiegel. So this is all we know. He's definitely not going to play tomorrow. That would be asinine.
I would assume.
Like, that would be ridiculous.
I would assume all of the Flyers organization's fingers are crossed so hard that their fingers might break. Like, that's where they're at right now.
Yes, because we all... listen, they said the playoffs aren't, like, the #1 priority this year, but it would be nice.
I mean, they want to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
But at the very least, they want to be competitive through April. And if Dan Vladar is out for 2 months, I don't think that's happening.
No. The whole point of doing the rebuild this way is you learn to win and play in important games by doing so. If they're not, then it's like, well, we just threw a year away. And, well, we won a ton of games early, so maybe the draft position ain't great. It's kind of like, ooh, this could go bad.
I don't know, given the way that the way the league is set up, if they did fall off a cliff, they might actually draft pretty high.
They probably could. And listen, I know it's still like 2% is 2%, but the team that won the lottery this past season, 10th. Yeah, it happens. It can happen. Flyers moved up from 13. That's not even legal now. All right, let's get to your super chats. Hit the freaking like button too. I know, like the game isn't something you like, but you're sitting here watching the show. the like button's free. Hit the thumbs up. We'd appreciate it. All right, a bunch from you tonight. People not all that happy, I would assume. Let's get to the super chats. First one is from Deedle It's very funny.
Amazing.
It's nights like these, I hear his stupid voice softly echo. This team is just what it is right now, and we have this really cool app.
We were vestiges of Chuck Fletcher.
Man, that app thing is like, that's one of the... Like, how do you, like, when you explain you have an app and that's what tells you, like, it goes green, I should make a trade. Like, oh, man.
The problem with Chuck Fletcher...
You shouldn't have said that.
From a media management, public relations standpoint is that, like, for example, there was a way for him to position that in a way that I think maybe would have been better received. Maybe by that point, nothing.
Our analytics guys.
Yeah, like
we have this, like a whole bunch. We have a really cooperative, idea where everybody, and we assess it through many levels.
Yeah,
and
you could have done a better job of selling rather than just like, we got this app. It's real cool.
Like,
what are you doing, man?
So we have these blackberries, and like, dude, come on. Yeah,
he was a very nice man.
He was.
Who did a poor job at managing the Flyers and also was really, really bad at articulating messaging, particularly to Philadelphia fans.
Yeah,
he was real bad at it.
A bad fit for here, if nothing else.
In terms of messaging,
the man was struck. Listen, he did a bad job, but also struck with terrible freaking luck.
He was struck with very bad luck.
And Niskanen just quits.
Yeah.
Like, he just goes, I ain't coming back. I'm done with this.
The numbers your overall pick just disappears.
Yeah.
The breakout winger gets cancer. Like, yeah, he had a lot of bad luck. Ryan Ellis just can't play hockey anymore. Had a lot of bad luck. Also made a lot of bad decisions.
Sure, but like, Kevin Hayes, it's going well. It's going better than we expected. Oh, yeah, he needs 3 procedures in a year. He's never going to be the same. You got to figure out a way to get rid of him. Like, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I can't because we paid him $7 million.
But then he did a really bad job of articulating things to the fans.
The actual explaining of it was
real bad.
poor.
Yeah. Didn't do a good job of that either.
All right. DA Flyers man says, I don't know, man. Charlie sure does sound angry.
I feel like I was just very forceful about the things I thought they did right. As I said before the game, this is a really important game, and they laid an egg.
They did. No, it was a disappointing.
They fell flat on their face.
Disappointing once again in a game that was quite important.
And if anything, the fact that they did do well in natural stat trick metrics, the fact that they did outshoot them, that almost makes it even more frustrating because it's like they weren't. It's not as if they were overmatched. It's not like when they lost to the Lightning these 2 games. It's like, I don't know, the Lightning are just better guys.
They're awesome,
like, calm down. They're just a better team. If you hold a team to 14 shots on goal, they're probably not significantly better than you.
No. In fact,
they could have won this game. They just blew it with a bunch of stupid stuff.
No, this was like very much a loss.
Yeah.
As much as, credit to Buffalo. They scored when they had, like, I don't know, man. They had 13 shots against the goalie. You blew it more than they beat you.
Yeah.
Tampa beat you.
I don't think Buffalo played that well.
No, Buffalo sucked too. They just happened to score a couple of times. All right, next one here is David Shub. What's up, David? Gotta think Z is going to get paid to stay beside TK. Yeah. He's the only consistent offensive player. I pray guys in the system step up to replace this mess. Yeah, they're in a weird middle part right now where it's like, yeah, we're playing Grunstrom every night. Like, they don't have that 22-year-old to come in and take that spot. Hopefully it's Barkey one day, who's now 20. Yeah. Hopefully Alex Bump is here sooner than later. Hopefully Porter Martone is everything we think he is, and he's here as soon as the freaking spring. You know?
That'd be cool.
But right now, those things aren't true.
Yeah. So they do have Grunstrom in the top 9
like,
when Tyson Forster's injured and when Bobby Brink is still coming back from a concussion.
Forster and Brink, 2 your top 9 forwards, are also injured right now. One long-term, one hopefully back soon.
Hopefully.
We will see another one here from David. If Coots retires early, does his cap hit vanish too?
I mean, it would, but
yes, that's why guys don't retire.
Yeah, I don't know why he would retire.
Yeah, that's why Ryan Ellis's contract just got traded again.
Exactly.
He wants to continue to get paid.
To get the money.
Yeah, he's not going to retire.
But yes, theoretically, if Sean Couturier retired, his cap hit will come off the books. I don't envision a world where he does that. Also, like, he can still play. I know people are real big frustrated with him, and he wasn't good tonight.
No, he was bad.
But he can still play. He's still a decent NHL player who I know I'm going to get the I don't care about numbers, but like he is the best play driver on the team at 5-on-5. by the numbers. He can still do stuff. He's just not as good as he used to be. He's basically back to being 24-year-old Sean Couturier with all of the online frustration that I saw directed at 24-year-old Sean Couturier. That's basically what he is again.
Those damn injuries. Like, he was finally there. He was finally that guy. He needs to be load managed. Like, that's the issue now, is he just can't play every game, and that will never happen in the NHL. It's not hockey. It's definitely not the guy wearing the C. So, like, what he needs is a thing that is not going to be done. Hopefully they figure something else out. All right, another one here from David. If Vladar is hurt, it's sell guys and tankathon time. I agree. I don't know how much you can sell. I still think Dvorak at this price, but like, you're gonna do that to a guy that's really not awesome. Look.
Yeah, I mean, you theoretically could trade him because he doesn't have
the protection starts next year.
Yeah, it doesn't kick in until July 1, but I don't think they would do that. Ristolainen would probably be the big guy, but now he's hurt too. So who knows? I
saw Emil Andre's name on a trade board. We don't have a 4 p.m. show anytime soon, so I just wanted to bring this up quickly. Do you think I don't know, they are playing him quite a bit, but it's not like he's on the power play, or he's not a featured player the way I thought he would be at this point. You think that's a possibility?
I do not think they would trade him in a sell. Okay. I absolutely could see them trading
part
him
of a package
in a trade.
Yeah, okay.
But I don't think it's going to be like, give us a first-round pick for Emil Andre. I don't see that.
I would be, because it wouldn't be that. And it's like, do we really need a 2/3? Like, who cares?
Exactly.
All right, another one here from David Shub. Brenna, spin that wheel. We're not doing it yet. We're not doing it yet. I'm not starting it until St. Patrick's Day. If they're not in a playoff spot on St. Patty's Day, that is, I believe, one of the first games of the last California trip. We will start it. I believe that's the Cutter game. Might be St. Patty's Day. Okay. We'll do it then.
Also, like, look, this game was real bad. It was real bad, and if Vladar's hurt for an extended period of time, that's even worse. They are still right there. A 4-game losing streak stinks, but most teams have at least one 4-game losing streak in a season. I'm not ready to bury them yet. Let's see how this plays out. We very well could be ready to bury them this time next week. But
I mean, let's
see how it plays out.
That's the other part of what made this part of the schedule so important. Yes, it's up against teams in your division, in your conference. Also, next week, they have a really tough schedule. Yeah. It's not teams that are like 500-ish. It's teams that are really good. So we'll see. All right. This one is Hat-Trick Patrick. Sam Ersson will lead us to Martone, McKenna, Michkov.
It would be very fun. Like, I know everybody wants to bring up McKenna because he's the name, but it would be very funny if they
went off board.
Well, not even that. It's the fact that, like, the one thing you hear constantly from people is like, well, they don't have the center. Y'all do realize Gavin McKenna ain't a center, right?
Gavin McKenna is a 6-foot, 170-pound left winger.
Like, you do realize that he's not a center. I feel like most people just assume that because he's the hot name that he must be a center. Like, he's not. He's a winger, guys. Just saying.
I want that defenseman.
That's Verhoff?
Yeah. That'd be fun.
I mean,
I just have a proclivity for defensemen.
And I think he's going to be a good one.
Yeah. All right. We can probably get one more in before overtime. This is our park. Is it too late to get Fedotov back?
Yes, I think it's too late.
Fedotov is at like 900 or 901 in the AHL this year. Now, listen, that is a considerable upgrade from the 870 he was at in the NHL last year. But is he any good either? I don't know. Like, Columbus just fired their coach and is looking for literally anything, and he's still in the AHL. David Shub, I do think Jet Greaves has been good for them. David Shub says, #1 draft pick, a sell for assets, or first-round exit. I would take the first-round exit because they're not going to get a #1 draft pick.
Seems unlikely.
Like that would,
and I don't know what assets they have to sell at this point.
Yeah,
Dvorak was your big guy, and you just resigned.
Like, I guess Vladar, he's got another year, but everyone needs goal. Like, I don't want to do that, though, because I want a goalie. Like, Risto, he's sure, but they're willing to do that a week ago. They said it.
Yeah, they were willing to do that even when they thought they had a chance to make a playoff.
And they were in a playoff spot. Yeah, so he's probably going to, if he's healthy, he might get traded regardless.
That's true. I
just don't know what they have.
I would like the first round exit. That'd be fun. I'd like to cover playoff hockey again.
86 games would be more fun than 82. Personally, that's how I feel. All right, now we're going to overtime. Good call, Brenna. Go to allphly.com to finish watching the show. Let's see. This one is from Corey, what's up, Corey? That game versus the Ducks where the Flyers and Zegras were awesome actually happened, right? I'm not imagining that game. Like, it was a week ago.
Yeah, it was. This is, again, why, and I know this makes me unfun for people, and it probably isn't, like, the best fit for a show. It's certainly not the best fit for online. This is the reason why I always am like, let's not get too high, let's not get too low, because it was 9 days ago.
Yeah.
Well, 8 days ago? 8 days ago. Like, in 8 days, we could be excited about the team again. Does it look like that now? No, but it didn't look like it was going to be like this 8 days ago.
No, they had scored 5 goals in back-to-back games. They just beat McDavid, then they showed Cutter what was up, and all was well.
This is why I say I'm never going to be the writer who matches the anger of the fan base, because I've seen too many times, like hockey and baseball, like it's not Eagles' brain. Like there's 82 games.
I don't want
these narratives can change very quickly. It looks bad now because they're in a 4-game losing streak and Dan Vladar's status is unknown. In 8 days, we could be feeling good again. It doesn't look like it's going to be that way now, but it could be because hockey is weird and sports are weird in general.
All right, this next one here is from Obi-Wan. If Vladar is hurt past the break, we're sellers. Oh, if he's hurt leading into if it's now through what?
If he's out through the rest of January.
They have 10 games left?
I mean, then you got to see how they do. Like,
sure,
maybe some miracle happens and Ersson remembers how to be a decent goalie. But based on what we've seen over the last few weeks, like, that doesn't seem likely that it's just going to click for him again.
He's got the worst save percentage in hockey going back to 2023-24. I just don't see it happening.
No, I think
maybe.
I think probably if Vladar has to miss time, your best hope is call up Kolosov and go to a timeshare. Like, I don't think you can call up Kolosov and give him every game. That would be insane. But you do a 50-50 split, and you hope to God that Kolosov catches lightning in a bottle for the 3 weeks that Vladar's out.
Suppose it's possible. All right, another one here from David. It says, besides Zegras and TK, who's actually above average by the numbers this year? Who's a killer? Mid players equal mid results. Chances only matter if you score.
Well, I guess it depends on what numbers you're at. You're looking at. Like Vladar is.
Chances equal opportunity. The more chances you get more consistently, the more likely you are to score. It is a game in which, like, save percentages are way down. 90% of the time, though, the goalie makes the save. It's about generating chances. That's the only way to score, because, like, you have a 10% chance. You have a 10% chance to score on every shot. You need to generate chances.
Yeah. And I don't think the Flyers are filled. Like, the Flyers aren't filled with players who are fantastic finishers, but I don't think they're filled with a bunch of guys who can't finish. I think they have a bunch of guys who are probably about league average of finishing. Yeah. And if you get a lot of scoring chances, they're going to finish those scoring chances at about league average. Like, no, they're not going to finish them as if they're Alex Ovechkin, because they're not. But they'll finish them, at around like 8 to 10% over a large sample size. Yeah.
And it's tough to teams that finish at a higher sample than that typically then stop doing that. And it's like, oh, what happened? They were so good last year. Now this year they aren't. Well, because nobody shoots 17%. That's why. Sure. All right. Next one here is from B-Rated. Over-under, the Flyers make 2 trades by the trade deadline. Well, the over-under, you're setting at 2. You
gotta do 0.5. Yeah, it's gotta be 1.5 or 2.5.
Yeah, if it was 2.5, I would say under.
Pushes.
Yeah, if it was 2.5, I would say under.
Okay. If it's 1.5, you say over?
I think they could make 2.
You think they can make 2?
I think they maybe make a hockey trade and they make 1. Yeah, Risto see ya. Okay. I could see that happening.
All right, maybe.
Yeah. All right. First one here from Hattrick Patrick. Tip will be a 30-goal scorer in the next couple of years. I hope so. I've been saying that for like 3 years now. I would love that to be the case. Sure.
I think he's going to.
I hope so.
I think there is, at some point in his career, whether it's in Philadelphia or somewhere else, he's going to pop off and score 37 at some point. Like, it may come when he's 31.
Yeah. Just have that year.
Yeah, just have that year.
The 1 year where your shooting percentage doubles for some reason.
Exactly.
And then everyone's like, well, that's who he is. And then it's, no, he isn't. He never did it before, never did it again, but he had that 1 year.
Yeah.
All right. It'll be a contract year for sure. Hattrick Patrick, why did I think Gavin McKenna was a center? Well, there you go.
Well, no, it's because he's the name, and you assume that the name must be a
franchise player. Got to be a center.
But he's not.
No,
he's a winger.
He's a 170-pound left winger. Yeah. All right.
Really good prospect, but he's a winger. Just
really good.
Make sure you know that he's a winger.
Like, if they tank for him and get him, And then we still don't have a franchise center. Like, don't be shocked.
Yeah.
All right. Keegan, frustrated with the Coots Michkov double standard.
Yeah, this was a big topic on Twitter, I gather, over the last 24 hours.
I have been frustrated by that. Coots played 13:39 tonight. 13:39, yeah. Like, it's not like he played 20 minutes, even though he sucked.
He wasn't good, and they pulled back on his minutes. I think, to me, the reason why, like, I bristle at that a little bit is, like, there are two things that Sean Couturier can do that Michkov can't that keeps him in the lineup. Number one, Sean Couturier can play defense well still. Matvei Michkov, I think he's getting better at it. I think he's made some strides this year in terms of his overall off-puck play, but he's still not a shutdown guy the way that Couturier is. And number two, Sean Couturier can win faceoffs. Matvei Michkov's a winger. So, like, he's going to get extra shifts because of those two things, shifts that they're not going to give Matvei Michkov. Like, it's just the reality of hockey.
Yeah. All right. This one, hat trick again. Draft defenseman Alexander Karamov.
Oh, yeah. This is the second time Patrick's
7 foot, 285, murder machine. Yeah, it was it Purple Crayon brought him up before, too?
Yeah, well, speaking of Purple Crayon, looks like he's next.
Well, there he is. Look at that. Yeah, I would love his. I feel like 7 foot might be too big. Like, 7 foot might be one of those, like, I remember, I think it was like a Gruden's breakdown or something of, like, quarterbacks. You can't be bigger than 6'6" because of the trajectory. Like, it just takes you too long.
Right, yeah.
Like, yeah, you could be like a 6'5",
you need a quick release.
You can be Pronger. Yeah. You can be Chara. 7 might be too big.
Your limbs are just too large.
That's like
you can't control them all.
7'3", 7'2" on skates. Like, that might be too big. Like, I don't know how you puck handle.
But, like, by the same token, I don't know. Like, if LeBron James grew up in Canada and played hockey from the time he was 6, like, I think he'd probably be awesome.
But that's like, you can be 6'6". That's the thing. It's like,
isn't he like 6'9"?
Is he 6'9"?
He's like 6'8", 6'9".
Maybe. All right. Yeah, but he's also like the greatest athlete, like just athletic.
Well, that's my point. Maybe this guy's the greatest 7-foot athlete ever.
Might be.
Maybe.
All right. We still have a few more here, I think. This is Perp. Charlie, where's your mock draft?
It's going to be a while.
Charlie is not doing draft content. Again, like, that isn't starting until April. I'm going to tell you all right now. Even if the Flyers start tanking, we're not doing draft stuff because we have a show every day.
Yeah. And
we
I still
need
have
to
cover
save
the team.
things.
I still have to cover the team on a daily basis. That's my main focus.
If we started draft stuff today, what would we talk about in April?
I do have my spreadsheet, like the bones of my spreadsheet.
I love that spreadsheet.
I have about like 60 guys that I have my eye on, but I have not begun to watch tape. I have not begun to really dive into the numbers. So yeah, we're ways away from that. That might be a project I begin seriously during the Olympic break.
All right, and I believe that is all. That is all the super chats, and that is all the time we have for you on PHLY Flyers postgame presented by Bet365. Before we get out of here, I got to tell you about the Carnival giveaway we're doing. We're still running it over at allphly.com. All you got to do to enter, scan that QR code right there. We are giving away general admission passes to the Flyers Carnival on February 1st. But that's not all. 2 grand prize winners will get a sign and snap with Travis Sanheim, and one grand prize winner will get a sign and snap with Travis Sanheim. Another will get a sign and snap with Cam York. Pictures, autographs, admission to the Flyers Charities Carnival. All of that. Just scan that QR code on your screen right now. And I just saw another one there from David. Says Mitsubishi. You got me. We're not doing that tonight. That's it. Thank you all for listening. Thanks for hanging out. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Follow us right here. Follow us right here on the PHLY Sports YouTube page. We'll be back tomorrow with pre- and post-game for the Penguins game. Follow us on Twitter at PHLY_Flyers and follow the podcast wherever you get those. Just search PHLY Flyers. I am Bill Matz. That is Charlie O'Connor. Thank you as always to Brenna. Be excellent to each other.
We all silly like the mayor.